What's good, fam? It's your boy Jorge. Welcome to another episode. Hater Dave in the studio.
What's good, fam?
I want to say Hater Dave does not have a podcast. Just letting you guys know that. So
Yeah.
don't go to it.
Don't do it.
Yeah. What's going on, dude?
Nothing, man. Just I was thinking of words. What's words? Shucking and a jiving? I don't know. I'm busy as fuck.
Hey, another day, another dollar is what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I mean, being busy is never a bad thing.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like being busy. When I'm not busy, it feels weird.
Yeah. My busyness basically was derived from me sitting on the couch watching Netflix or playing video games too much. I was like, fuck this. I got to be doing something.
Not necessarily, though.
Like, I still have my movie days, but most of the time I'm just like, no, I can. How do I improve what I'm doing? Or, whatever it is I'm working on. I'm just like, let's find a way to promote myself or make my process better.
Yeah. I think there has to be a balance, though. And I don't know if I just reached that balance where, I'm pretty good where I'm at. Like I tell you with, photo and video stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just charge people a tremendous amount.
Yeah.
So they basically say no. But if they were to say yes, it's like, oh, shit, okay, I'll do it.
Cool. Yeah, that's worth my time.
But I don't know. There has to be, a balance where you just enjoy life. And
Right.
that's kind of where I'm at. I just like being with my boys and doing whatever with them. And,
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, man.
so
you gotta have that. I just meant the downtime when you're home at night, and the kids are kind of in bed. I'm just wasting time playing video games. I'm like,
yeah, but that's not.
it'd be more
But
productive.
see, I don't consider that wasting time, though, because that's it's almost like a spa day for the females, when they go. It's like a you time.
Okay, well,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but for me, I was like, I should probably do something more.
Yeah.
I guess I was lacking purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see where you're coming from with that. And it's different with people, like I said. Some people, that's all they'll do is just play video games, and it's like, oh, you might want to consider something different or whatever. But if you got a lot of stuff going on and you're making a good solid income and you're happy and all that and your life is good, then you should reward yourself by hanging out or whatever,
Yeah, absolutely. I take my days. Every once in a while, I'll be like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm not doing nothing today.
Yeah.
Watch 3 or 4 movies or whatever's going on, hang out with the kids, and, let that be it.
I think I mentioned this before, but growing up, I grew up like that where I had to do something always because or I'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
So once I was out of the house and did my own stuff, that continued.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
The drive. Do you think when you were younger, you felt that way just because you were young and you were just you always just fucking around? Because I see my kids now and, it's kind of the same thing. They're like, God, we always had to do something. I'm like, actually, it's only 20 minutes worth of work and you have a 5-hour period to do it in. Mm-hmm. So if you just did it up front, that leaves you 4 hours and some change to fuck around for the rest of the day.
I don't know. I just think just my parents were strict.
I mean, yeah.
And they'd whip my ass.
Yeah, they seem like they wouldn't take no shit from you.
Yeah, so I think that's the difference. Not really that I was just lazy or a kid or whatever. It's just they demanded a lot from me. So I'm like, so I grow up and I wake up, since having a business, I wake up and I'm like, I got nothing to do. But then I feel bad.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Or I'll do the stuff I'm supposed to do, make sure I got all the invoices out, make sure I get paid, make sure everything's good. And then I'm like, I got nothing to do. I did everything. Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And then I get that feeling again where I'm all, I should do something. But that's just from growing up how I did.
Right.
And it's not a good feeling.
No?
No.
Oh.
Because I like the feeling now because I've gotten a little bit more used to it. I think within the last few years, I've realized I'm good. I don't need to.
Right.
No one's yelling at me. No one's doing nothing. I'm good. As long as I'm on top of my stuff, I'm fine. And I'm way more relaxed. And cool. I do waste a lot of time sometimes because I ain't doing shit. I'm just sitting on the computer, watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm learning stuff while watching those videos or getting inspiration for something.
I'm fucking guilty of that too, though. Yeah. I'm like, when I'm super busy, crammed, I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta message this person on Instagram. Fuck. Next thing you know, 15 minutes later, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm scrolling and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, message this person, get back to it.
Yeah, but that's almost like business, like writing stuff off for business.
Mm-hmm.
You like drive to the gas station. Yep, drove to the gas station, got gas for work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
Even though you didn't, you just went to the gas station.
I had to get the Gatorade to keep me fresh. Better write that off.
Yeah. It's the same thing with that. It's like you're on Instagram, but you're wasting so much time. But then you're like, oh, well, I did see one reel that inspired me to do this type of video or photo or whatever. So that was worth it for the work, for the job.
Right,
you know?
right.
Maybe. You don't probably. You're probably like,
no.
What kind of shitbag am I?
Yeah, pretty much. I kind of think to myself, like, what the fuck? Dave, come on.
I know.
The algorithm is strong. Let me tell you, they got the numbers dialed.
Yeah.
Every time I open it, I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I like the stuff I look at because, the algorithm's pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's all comedy and just funny stuff, and that puts me in a really good mood. So,
yeah.
I mean, what more do you want? Do you want me in a bad mood or you want me in a good mood? So, scrolling through this stuff and just laughing or the memes people send me, I just laugh and I'm like, good mood.
I like it. You and me send a lot of shit to each other. I like it when people send me stuff because it's almost like a pre-filter of all the trash. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, cool. We got a good one.
Do you send me stuff and I'm like, dude, what weird stuff are you watching?
Well, sometimes I send it to you because I'm like, what is that? Yeah. It's like, why would that come on my feed?
Yeah. I know why it comes on your feed.
Yeah, But
you want to talk about a top story and kind of upset?
Huh.
Takes a lot for me to get upset.
Yeah.
Okay. UFC 306.
Oh boy.
Next weekend.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. They're calling it Noche de something. Mm-hmm. It's the Mexican Independence Day.
Got it.
First time UFC or any kind of big fighting thing like that at the Vegas Sphere.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got Sean O'Malley defending his title versus Merab Devashvili or something like that. Mm-hmm. We got the woman flyweight Alex Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. They already fought twice. Valentina beat her the first time. They fought the second time, or Grasso beat Valentina for the belt, for the championship belt.
On the second time?
The first time.
Oh, okay.
And then they fought again, and it kind of seemed like maybe Valentina won that one.
Yeah.
But they gave it to Grasso. I'm a big, if you're the champion, or if you're the challenger, you have to do something.
You got to beat the person.
You got to beat them up or knock them out in order to take that belt. So if it's a pretty close one, they're probably going to give it to the champion. That's what happened here, I think. So Alexa Grasso kept it. So this is her third fight. I'm a huge Valentina fan. I think she's pretty dope. So that'll be a good one. And then we got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. And then the remaining is like all Hispanic, probably Mexican fighters because it's a Mexican Independent Day fight. The reason I'm upset. Fight goes on sale. I go look at tickets. Oh, by the way, I'll be on tour next weekend.
Very nice.
FMX Rampage.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to make it anyways.
Where are you going? Eureka,
California.
Yeah.
Redwoods, something.
Yeah, it should be sick.
Yeah, it's like right on the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, never been there, so it should be cool. But anyways, go on, try and get tickets to the fight. There were about $2,000 to $3,000 per ticket. So I was like, yep, I'm not spending 6 G's on 2 tickets for me and the wife.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then I saw that I had that show anyway. So I'm like, oh, I can't make it anyways. All of a sudden now, it's been flooded on my Instagram or anywhere that I'm looking at that the tickets aren't selling, which is surprised because I thought it was sold out, right?
Yeah.
Tickets aren't selling. And if you go on there, it's true. So I went on there 2 nights ago, looked at some tickets, pretty decent tickets.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know the Sphere.
Yeah,
so
I would almost feel like you'd want to be up high on the Sphere because you don't want to, be looking up the whole time.
Well, and I feel like every seat at the Sphere it's not bad.
Yeah.
But that's for the shows they usually do, not for MMA.
Right.
So I'll get into that in a second. But pretty decent tickets, $600.
Oh,
dude, $1,200 for 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Like
plus hidden fees, so it'd be like $1,450.
Well, I think they take that away now. Now
okay.
it's like
no, that's like the actual price.
The actual price, okay. Yeah. So I was kind of bummed on that. A lot of people are talking about why is that happening? Because a big thing is Sugar Sean. He's supposedly this big character, this big draw. Mm-hmm. Does Sugar Sean not have that draw? Has he fought in other fights where they're the good co-main events and they were just bigger fights?
Right.
Or what's going on?
not too many people can afford $2,000 to $3,000 a ticket.
Yeah, but
Like
for the first time,
maybe a third of that place gets filled up. And
but
then
it's
they're like,
Vegas.
"Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of wanted to go just because it was a Sphere, not because of the fight.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
Where's the actual fight happening? Is it happening at their arena at the UFC place, or
No, it's in the Sphere.
it's actually in the Sphere?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, because they do a lot of shows where it's like you can go live view it just in the Sphere. So in my mind, I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, damn, it's a lot of money just to do that.
Yeah. Dude, they're Dana White said they're $20 million into this, just in production.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then not alone playing all the fighters and all that, you know. So I don't see them making their money back, especially since they've been having a rough ticket go.
Yeah.
But let's get into that.
20 million.
Yeah. Let's get into the actual how it's going to work. So I was thinking, I'll give Dana White a tip here, which I think is probably they can't do it at all because of safety concerns.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, if you play what's going on in the inside of the Sphere, on the outside of the Sphere, so everyone outside can see the fight, I think that would be the dopest thing ever. But cars might be crashing or people along the street might be like too much of a riot or something. So I don't know if that's possible, but
yeah, why not?
Imagine
they put all kinds of shit out there.
Yeah, but not a full
Did we talk
fight.
About the cost of advertising on those things?
No,
they were doing something like it was crazy, like two to 500,000 a month for a company to advertise on that thing. It's like, oh, but you can see it fucking anywhere.
Yeah. And last time I was in Vegas, I was there and I didn't see no advertisement on it. It was just like their
Well, that was one of the
happy face.
things. I think the CFO got let go or something because they weren't, they weren't getting enough advertisement on there.
Yeah. So, from my understanding, the way it's gonna work, I was thinking. I got ice in my mouth. Hey, damn!
We got a cat on the loose, a mini lion.
Hey, can you just go press 1 on that real quick? On the red big button on the bottom. Yep. All right. So, from my understanding, they are gonna be basically going through the history of Mexican boxing or Mexican combat sports.
Yeah.
From the very beginning of time or something like that to now, like the Sphere.
Okay.
Right. So I think that's what they're going to show on the Sphere, like in the inside part. So as a fan, that's cool and all, but I'm not going there for that. I'm going there like to maybe see the entire fight on there. You know, if you're in the nosebleeds and you can't really see the thing, but then you're like looking and they're fighting right there.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Right.
Hell yeah. You'd probably just end up every time I've been doing like some big event where they have that, I always just end up watching the TV. Yeah. I'm like, I could have done this at home.
So that brings me to the question of, do you think they're going to be playing the fight like that inside? There has to be just a square that they're going to use because there is no way that as a fighter, you're not distracted.
Right. I was waiting for you to finish and I was like, dude, how are they going to?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I just don't think they're going to do it. Just
maybe they can cut off the bottom 15 feet or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they could just get like a square.
Yeah.
And then just put the fight there like a...
Plus, I wonder how they'd have to record that live in order to project it on that because it's kind of unique. I don't know if it takes anything special, but maybe that's why there's 20 million sunk into it so far. Yeah. I don't know. So, but that's what I was thinking. I think that would be dope to see a fight like that, but I don't think they play the fight on the entire Sphere inside of it. Yeah.
I think they just like cut out a piece to make it like a Jumbotron, basically.
Right.
So that's like, okay, then that defeats the purpose of being in the Sphere. And then what they're actually doing is showing the history of it. But as we've seen photos and videos of the Sphere, dude, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like,
I'd love to go in there to see like some kind of space thing.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my
or
God,
they do
so
like
cool.
like a stargazing one where you're like in Arizona and then you're looking at the stars and it looks like you're out there, right?
Right, yeah.
So that's cool. But imagine a full thing of just people fighting.
Motion sickness.
Yeah. You know? So I don't know if that's even worth it. Like $2,000 for tickets.
Way.
So I think that's kind of where maybe a lot of people are thinking I don't know if this is worth it.
Yeah.
But my thing was like first of its kind, going to the Sphere would be dope, you know, and then I saw the prices and I was like, nah, that's not that cool.
What do you think the average take for the UFC is on any given event?
Money wise?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, because if he's sinking 20 million in there, I mean, do they make 40, 60 million an event. Revenue, not necessarily profit.
Yeah, but they're going places where they're not spending nearly that.
Right.
And the UFC has a fight basically every weekend, whether it's free or pay-per-view or whatever. That's a well-oiled machine. Like those guys probably have it down so perfect.
Right.
They pay the least as possible and they make the most, So this is kind of the first time, and I don't think he's going back. Like even if it was a super big success, I think he said like this is a one and done thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just saying that to prompt some more sales.
Well, I don't know, but it's like, dude, 20 million.
Because I wonder what's going to look like on TV. You know what I mean? Like
I think we're just going to see the stage, just how or the octagon.
Yeah, but you can usually see in the background,
Yeah.
the kind of, T-Mobile Arena or whatever. So it'd be interesting. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
can't show these views because you'll see a giant screen behind them.
Yeah, so there's basically going to be one wall that's going to be screen, and then everything else will be crowd.
Right.
Or actually, I think it's a pretty big stage because performances happen there. So I think it's a big stage where they'll put the thing there and they'll put seats for all like the celebrities and stuff to be around that. So I think it'll be kind of the same view.
Huh. Okay.
Like I said, they're probably not going to play the fight on the Sphere as it goes on.
I don't know. Yeah.
That'd be wild, though.
That would be wild.
Yeah. So big thing out of that, though, like I'm saying, a lot of people are saying, is Sugar Sean O'Malley not as big of a draw as he claims and as his fans claim.
Yeah. Maybe not for $2,000.
I mean,
speaking of Mexican boxing, Canelo.
Yeah. It's my boy.
How often does that guy fight?
He's fighting the same day as the Sphere.
Really?
Yep.
I just saw an ad.
He fights 2 times a year.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I see him everywhere. Ads everywhere. So I'm like,
yeah, he's the champion of whatever division he's in, and he fights twice a year, usually May, Independence Day, and then they fight September-ish or later in the year to end the year out. So
right,
those guys are like Canelo, for example. He's such a good fighter, barely gets hurt, fights, wins, goes on vacation for a month, maybe comes back and starts training, and then he's ready again. So. Yeah, that guy you'll never see like Patty the Batty, where he like blows up to 200 and something pounds, and then he only fights like once a year,
Right.
Canelo, if you saw him on the street, he'd be the same Canelo, like
right,
as when he's fighting. So that's the difference between boxing and MMA, I think.
Yeah, the weight classes are so, incremental.
Yeah.
In boxing, it's just like what do you mean?
Yeah.
You got a world champion 155 and a world champion at 157.
Yeah.
Like what?
But like walking around, they walk around at that within, I think, 5 or 10 pounds, maybe not even 10, maybe 5 pounds.
Yeah.
5 and less.
And that's pretty good.
And MMA fighters, a lot of those guys balloon up to 20 pounds. Like Sugar Sean, he's fighting at 145.
Yeah.
And he walks around at least at 160, 170. He's a tall dude.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big dude. There's no way he stays that lean every time. So pretty weird. I'd love to have a fighter on here and talk about like cherry picking. Like what's the advantages and disadvantages of cutting weight, which I kind of know them, but I want to hear it from an actual fighter.
Yeah.
Like, are you really that scared to go fight like at your normal weight class because those guys just are bigger usually, but they drop down in weight,
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just gives them the advantage because maybe like O'Malley, maybe not too many people at that size can actually do that. So he's like, well, fuck it. I can get there. I'll just take advantage of that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So he'll go fight this guy that probably walks around at 145 because he's a smaller dude. And O'Malley that day will come into the ring at 160.
Yeah.
So, but it drains you.
Yeah. Right.
Not that I would know, but it drains you.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
Yeah. Those dudes do not look good when they're cutting weight.
No. A lot of them say that they're basically like their body's dying.
Yeah.
When they really cut weight. So.
It's called fasting.
Not the way they do it. Yeah. Speaking of fasting, dude, the Hawk Tuah girl has nothing to do with fasting.
No.
But it's fascinating that she does not Hawk Tuah, but she's so popular. Like she does Hawk Tuah in private. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe she does, but she's come out and said,
I'm sure
like,
she's had some offers that she's had to decline.
That's the thing. But then yet, so she's coming out with her own podcast. I think it's coming out in a week or two called Talk Tuah.
Yeah. Clever.
Pretty clever. On the Jake Paul Betr network.
Okay.
So That's his fighting promotion network that he does or whatever. So I don't know if this is like the first podcast on there from besides like his own. If he does one, I don't know.
Right.
But he signed her, so I'm sure she's getting a pretty penny because I'm sure a lot of other people probably were like, "Hey, let's work."
Hopefully,
out a deal.
yeah.
You know the Full Send guys on Full Send Network or whatever they do. All those guys probably they had her on the show and stuff like that. So I'm sure a lot of people talked to her, and Jake Paul's the one that nabbed it up. So
right on.
Yeah, no word on how much yet.
Okay,
but first episode is gonna be with Jake Paul. So already first episode is a banger. You're coming out with
right.
A big dude, and then after that she's just gonna be interviewing just famous people.
I'll try to tune in. Yeah, like 2 or 3 episodes in. I'll listen to one just to see if she, if she's got it to like carry a conversation or if her personality is not as great as her on the spot comedy.
Yeah.
But, good luck to her.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's all good. You're using your 15 minutes of fame. You're doing all that. But can you interview?
Yeah.
Are you going to be a good question asker, journalist, whatever you want to say? Like,
yeah.
Especially when you have certain celebrities. Or the celebrity's going to go in there and just talk to you like, so, Tuah, huh? Like, and just talk about that.
Right.
You have to take command of the conversation and be like, all right, I already did my own interviews. Let's talk about you because that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's kind of a weird thing. It's almost like that Bobby Altoff with the Very Bad Podcast, whatever, how she blew up. But she had a stick, she was just like the super awkward, kind of bitch face, asked random questions, but awkwardly and stuff like that. So that's why she like blew up. I don't think you can do that with this one.
Probably not.
And that girl, they say that's not her person. She's actually like pretty cool.
Yeah.
That Bobby Altoff.
Yeah.
So that's an act. And Tuah, we kind of know her already because she's been in so many interviews and everything. And we kind of know her personality. So you can't change that on the podcast because then we're going to know that you're being fake.
Right.
Right.
So
I don't know.
That'll be interesting to see if she can keep it going,
Yeah. I mean, we all thought the momentum was going to come down, which it did.
This was totally a meme moment.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I'm still holding out to be right on this, but I hope she does well. But I'm still like, I'm not convinced still.
I mean, there's a lot of people. You remember that dog face dude, the dude from that's his name, I think.
Okay.
The skateboarder dude with the ocean spray drink.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That thing blew up in 2020.
Yeah.
And then you don't hear about anything about him now. I think he did some stuff. He did some shows, maybe a movie. I'm not sure. Some pretty big stuff, but you just don't hear him as like that popular.
Right.
Also, like Tuah is like, you could say like, oh, that's a Tuah girl.
Yeah.
That guy, what do you say? That's the...
Yeah, you just tried to describe him to me, and just by mere luck, I was like, oh, yeah, I know what he's talking about.
The ocean spray skateboarder guy.
The guy that was drinking a whole thing of ocean spray.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think his like social media name is Dogface.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And Ocean Spray like bought him a car, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a year's supply worth or something, like a ton of stuff. That guy just didn't
He had his moment.
Yeah, he had his moment, but he just didn't know how to capitalize on it, and she does.
Right.
Which brings me to the topic. Maybe she's Tuahing in the background.
Oh, that's how she's getting
Possibility.
Getting herself up.
Yeah.
There. Right. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Who knows? So this past weekend we had our correspondent Dirty Meg and the boys out on the street.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Trying the new Dr. Pepper Krispy Kreme.
Oh, she tried it?
Oh, yeah.
What?
She's dedicated to the show. Unlike...
She's got the locale there. Excuse me. Wait. Let me defend myself.
You're the donut guy.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy a good donut. But Krispy Kreme is not around here.
Hey,
I
I'm just saying.
To Reno to get this.
Yeah.
All right. I'm planning it. I'm going to go to the Mac store, the Apple store.
No, don't do it now
Krispy
because
Kreme.
we already know the verdict.
Okay, go ahead.
Verdict is it's not good. Verdict is... Well, the thing is...
Did she get it fresh?
Oh, yeah. She went to the actual place.
So she got it straight off the line.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's the only... You got to give it that, try.
She sent me a photo of it too.
Okay.
So basically, it's
Thanks,
just
Meg.
it's a glazed donut. So it's the frosting on it, and it's decorated so like Dr. Pepper on it or something like that. She said it was way too sweet, so only the frosting, not the donut, tastes like Dr. Pepper ish. I think she might have gave it like a 4 out of 10.
That's pretty bad. That's been my experience too. Have we talked about it last week? I don't know if I talked about other. No, we didn't.
To interrupt you real quick though.
Yeah.
She gave it a 2 out of 10.
Holy shit.
Not good.
What would she rate a normal Krispy Kreme?
It's a good question. That's why Megan should be here.
Yeah. Okay, well, in my experience, when you go to like specialty, like, you know, we have Donuts to Go here in Carson. Great donuts, right? But when you go to like super exquisite donut places, when I say exquisite, I just mean like they try to spruce up the donuts with extra sugar. You know, like there was a place down in Cannery Row, down in Santa Cruz. And I was like, oh, check out this donut shop. Looks so cool. They made like, you know, all kinds of specialty donuts. They were so sweet and disgusting. I was like, this is not my jam.
Yeah. There's a fine line. It's almost like the taco truck. And then you have like, you know, you're not going to go wrong at a taco truck.
Right.
But then you'll go to like kind of a hole in the wall restaurant sometimes and you can go wrong there.
Yeah.
But then you can go to like a fine Michelin star restaurant and you're not going to go wrong there. You know?
Right.
So it's kind of like in the between. I think some donut shops, they do a little too much and it's like, dude, it's a donut. There should be no reason you ruin this.
Yeah, one of my go-tos to test the donut, it's like, you know, it's like Portnoy with his cheese pizza.
Yeah.
One of my go-tos is just a glazed old-fashioned. I'm like, if you can't make this, forget it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the maple bars.
Oh, yeah. See, those are too sweet. I like them, but one bite is all I get.
One bite. Everyone knows the rule.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. It's funny because at work, sometimes people will grab donuts, you know, if we're having a little meeting or something, and they're like, oh, here comes Dave. You better grab what you want now. Because I'm notorious for just taking a knife. I try not to be rude about it, but I'm like, why have one whole donut when I can just sample them all?
You're one of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's terrible, but it is probably not the nicest thing to do. But I'm like, no one needs a whole fucking donut anyway. So let's get real here.
Unless you love that donut and then Dave comes and takes a piece of it.
Well, they should have already had it. I'm usually.
That is true.
Yeah. They're usually all there before me. So I'm like, okay. Slice it up. I'm like, I want some of this. And I take just like smidges, right?
It's a little charcuterie.
Yeah, charcutes, a donut charcute. That's the way I like to eat donuts, really. But otherwise, old-fashioned glazed.
Okay, well, this one might be right up your alley. Oreo Coca-Cola. So Oreo and Coca-Cola have launched what is probably to be the most unexpected collaboration of the year with their all-new Oreo-flavored Coke Zero and Coca-Cola flavored cookies. So we got the cookies. They're Coca-Cola flavored, which might be decent.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of any of the zero or diet stuff.
No?
So
The Zero's so good.
Okay, so there you go.
Zero's good because it tastes almost identical to the original. They've done a really good job with that. I don't know what it is. Probably not good for you, but I'll take the hit every once in a while. I drink like probably less than one soda really even a week. So, but when I do, I usually go with the diet version.
I think I might have said this like a lot on the podcast, but probably this month. Actually, there's 2 anniversaries. 6 years of podcasting.
Yeah.
Next week.
Congrats.
And a year without any sodas.
That's a pretty good achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I was ever a big soda guy, but it is really easy. You know, I take my boys to the movie theater. You have to buy them popcorn.
Yeah, right.
You know, Jack, he loves popcorn.
Yeah.
So when I'm up there, I'm like, cherry Coke.
Yeah.
Because, dude, that one's so good.
That's pretty good.
You know, stuff like that. But I try not to drink soda much at all. But it's really easy to. But since I was like, all right, I'm not drinking any at all. Dude, October for sure. But I'm pretty sure I started September. I don't remember.
So you gonna relapse on your anniversary date or just keep sailing?
No.
All right. Have you finished all 13 steps or? Okay. Yeah, you weren't a huge soda guy, but that is a pretty big deal just to be able to give something up.
Especially when you go places and, you know, I'm a big water guy. So if the water doesn't taste good, it could have just a little something that I don't like. I won't drink.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, what can I drink? Yeah.
That's usually my go-to to mask the water taste.
So That's the hard one because it's just that easy to be like, oh, bring me a Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't.
There it is.
You guys can do it too.
It's not that hard, guys. Just one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, something like that. But Dave is going to go try out the Oreo.
Well, we're going to have to hunt this thing down. So
It's in a
here's what
black
I'll
can.
say. A black can. Okay. Where did I find the last? Oh, you know where I found the last one? Where it was Coke 3000 was the last one that I tried because I was like, oh, let's try this. Yeah, it kind of tastes like shit. It was like a raspberry Coke. I was like, whatever.
Ooh.
And it was supposed to be an AI generated flavor, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. We had this discussion about Snickers, how they kind of just one-off sort of like brownies and stuff. Where was I headed with that?
I don't know that you're going to try it.
Coca-Cola flavored
Cookies.
gummies.
Oh, gummies?
They're pretty good. The Cola Bears is what I call them. I don't know if that's the real name, but
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those things are pretty tasty. Like once or twice a year, I'll be like, I got a little hankering for those. So I'll grab a bag. And then we're talking cookies that are flavored like Coke.
Oh, they're going to be Oreo cookies because it's an Oreo collab. So
Okay.
I'm not a big Oreo fan,
Yeah.
but sometimes I'll get into one and I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's okay every once in a while. When I think of Oreos, I'm not like, ooh, yeah, that sounds amazing. But if I eat one, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
That was good. So I'm sure the filling will be Coke flavored then. It's probably what they're headed for, huh?
Interesting. Because I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking the cookie would be that and then the filling would just be normal. But
yeah,
you're probably right.
I think the flavor would come through better in the filling. If I'm going to get analytical about it.
Yeah. To me, the cookies are too dark chocolatey. So it takes away from the flavor of the other stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not the fan. That's why I always bring this stuff up to Dave so he can try it and let me know.
All right, I'll go find it.
Yeah.
Does it list what places are carrying it?
Nah, probably Walmart.
All right, I'll try it.
Big Coke place. But yeah, thanks, Meg, for letting us know about the donut.
Yes, thank you.
I was waiting for Dave to do it. Going back into fighting. So this month, a Saudi boxer power broker, Turkai Al-Shaki or something, said he wants to slash the price of boxing pay-per-views down to $20 to combat piracy.
From, what is it now, 80?
Probably 60, 70.
Okay.
Yeah. To combat piracy, and Dana White came out and said that's something he's definitely not doing for the UFC. So he came out and basically someone asked him the question about this article, saying this guy wants to do this, and I think that's an amazing idea. $20 is nothing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is to some people or whatever. But
interested to see what will happen there because I don't think like if you're gonna rip it off, you're probably still not gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna spend my $20 if I can just get it
from someone that's been known to rip off a fight. No, not UFC because he'll sue you.
Yeah.
Here or there because fans send me links.
Yeah.
So hey, you send me a link, I'm gonna click it.
Yeah.
Okay?
See what's going on.
Yeah. They're not the best quality sometimes. Or they'll like freeze or there's too much traffic and they'll like shut down.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that could happen.
Yeah.
And if you're really into fighting or the event, you don't want that to happen mid-fight or when shit starts getting good and you have to like search for no one.
Right.
So $20 would be worth just to buy, even if it's not a good one that I would want to watch.
Yeah. Well, you got to think most of those events. So I guess the question is at, we'll just say 60 for the simplicity of it. Are 3 times as many people going to buy it if they lower the price to 20? Or is it still like a group thing where most people usually go, 3 to 8 people go over to someone else's house to watch it anyway?
I don't know. Back in the day, I would say, people did that a lot. But nowadays, I don't think people like to go out as much like that. And they'll just get at their house and just watch. But I don't know. $20 it's especially if it's very, very easy, just like by going to ESPN, clicking the button, and then $20 later you're watching.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad.
Even if it's like only
it's
one
low enough
fight.
that I would start buying UFC matches.
That's what I'm saying. Save yourself on gas just to drive here.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. But Dana White doesn't agree, and he says there's better ways to combat piracy, and that's basically, cracking down on them, suing them, sending them to jail, and stuff like that. And I think part of the article was one of the big piracy websites were just mocking him, being like, yeah, go for it then.
Yeah.
We're still going to do it. So I don't know.
Huh.
But I think it's pretty cool that someone's trying to do that. And for like a fan that works in our favor because it's cheaper.
Right.
But then, UFC, they're just like, nah, we're still going to rape you. Or grape you is the word nowadays.
Grape you. Can't say rape anymore?
Yeah, I guess not.
Oh, yeah.
But $80 later, dude, and all the fights are boring. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah, $80 later and every single fight's a knockout. Okay, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. But it doesn't always happen like that. So.
Right. That's interesting. We'll see what happens with pay-per-view numbers.
Yeah. Well, but this is for boxing and it hasn't gone into effect at all. It's just that he was suggesting it. That's what he wants to do. And it sounds like it's like a Middle Eastern guy. So it's going to be like for that side of the world, maybe not so much. So if you fight here in the States, it's probably still going to be the same amount for the pay-per-view.
Right.
But if you go over there, which a lot of people are going to Dubai to fight, they're getting paid a lot there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was going to say, look what happened with Liv and PGA.
Yeah.
So.
Well, dude, I haven't heard much of Liv lately. Are they not?
Didn't they? I thought they tried to partner with PGA. I think they partner with PGA, so maybe it's not.
But then they still had their tours. They're still.
I never watched it anyway, so I have no idea.
Yeah, because that Brooks Koepka,
yeah,
was the latest guy that I saw that was bought by the Live Tour,
right?
Or was it Brooke? Or no, it was homie, the really good one.
Which one?
Not Scheffler, but the other dude. Rahm. Wasn't it Rahm?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
John Rahm, I think, went over there, and that was after they were partnered up with the PGA. So I don't really know what's going on. I haven't heard much.
Okay.
So who knows? This is something right up your alley that you like, business talk, kind of. But Kroger was caught for hiking up their prices over, like, inflation. So, you got to compensate for inflation and everything, so prices of stuff have gone up, but in a suit or a settlement, something going on with Kroger, they admitted that they even went higher than they should have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if they're doing it, I wonder who, how many other companies are doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about that kind of stuff, but Kroger's already the cost provider. So a little bit extra on top of what they're already charging is still lower than the brand name competitors. So
I thought Kroger was just a normal.
No, dude, that's like the Smiths or whatever parent company owns. It's like probably 15 different chain stores.
The Smiths is just a normal.
It's like
grocery store though.
Yeah, but Kroger's their brand, right? It's just like Great Value or Kirkland for Costco, same kind of thing. So like. For them increasing their prices a little bit, where they're still positioned underneath the price of everyone else, I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
so what?
According to this, they went above inflation, so the price is above inflation. So they not only raised their prices up to kind of like keep up with it, like especially with the eggs and milk.
Yeah,
but they went above it. But they probably had the same thought you did. Hey, man. We've been giving you guys deals for this long.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're still positioned in the same spot in the market. So what difference does it make?
Yeah.
If you don't want to shop for our goods, go buy the brand name shit and pay extra. Like, you're basically like, I don't know. To me, I'm like, what's the problem? If it's too expensive, if anyone noticed at all, because if the spreadsheet wasn't there, no one's at the stores going like, oh, Kroger, I know they marked this up in addition to inflation.
Yeah.
They'll just go to fucking Walmart. Be like, well, I'll buy the Great Value brand.
Yeah. Well,
because there's been enough out there now to where like Kraft came out and said, if you look year to date, what's happened over the past few years, they haven't even, I don't even think they've matched inflation.
Yeah. See,
so that's like, but that's a huge brand name stuff.
On that same mindset right there, we got the Costco guy with the hot dog.
$1.50.
And then the Arizona iced tea guy.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
What happened with Arizona iced tea?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but
go ahead.
Well, supposedly, no, they're never going to raise the prices 99 cents.
Well, I mean, that's their goal, but they were one of the, basically when you IP, they have copyright, trademark, trade secret. And I think trade secret is where recipes fall under.
Yep.
So one of the companies they use
That's why they do natural flavors.
Yeah, one of the companies they use to produce some of the flavors they need, or some part of the beverage, went up for sale. And during we'll call it the ads for that sale, or the broker they were using, documents were out on these advertisements showing that one, Arizona Iced Tea was a customer of theirs, and two, there was some like proprietary information put on there. So there's like a big lawsuit now. Because they're like, well, if one of our competitors comes and buys that thing just to get us out of there, we're fucked.
Yeah. Why didn't they buy it?
Well, then their drinks wouldn't be 99 cents.
True. But yeah, so those guys have kept it real for us. I even saw someone on Facebook because I think I put something about like the cost of beef jerky.
Right.
I was like, dude, come on now.
It is pretty expensive.
Yeah. So,
but it's dehydrated beef.
Yeah. So the conversation started, and Arizona came up, and this girl said, where I live, it's 2 for whatever. So it basically made it like 79 cents each.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn.
Yeah. And
not even 99
they're good sized
cents.
cans too. Yeah.
I mean, diabetes in a can, but hey, they're delicious.
Hey, natural flavors.
Yeah. Natural flavors. But yeah, that's cool that certain people do that.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's
unfortunately
great.
That's not good for you. But
when I think of Arizona Iced Tea, I think of Arnold Palmy. Oh,
really? I think of the
so
sweet
good.
tea.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a lot of them. The sweet tea. I like the watermelon
and raspberry.
I never had that one, but then I also had the ginseng one.
Oh, I never tried that.
It's like Asian teal.
Right.
Yeah. That one's really good too. So, ginseng tea.
Nice.
Real good. Speaking of the Asians, dude. Japanese man only sleeps 30 minutes a day for 12 years.
Possible? I
so
say you'd pretty much die if you don't.
So they followed him around for 3 days.
Yeah.
On this docu-series that they made about him. So Daisuke Hori, 40 years old. And I was going to say, a sure sign if this is not working for him would be like what he looks like.
Right.
Dude's ripped. He's Asian, so he looks pretty decent anyway.
Yeah,
so it's like not a good indicator.
He looks young until he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not a good indicator, but yeah, 40 years old from Hyogo said as long as you exercise or drink coffee an hour before eating, you can starve off drowsiness. And the reason he does this is because he wants to double his lifespan, basically.
Right.
But not to live 160, is that he only sleeps 30 minutes a day, so he has 23 and a half hours of life every single day. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that way he maximizes everything he does.
I mean, yeah, everyone wants more time, but if you can't function. So you're saying the documentary shows that he's like good to go, huh?
I don't know if it's out or anything like that, but it was just the article.
Yeah.
And they said that they had a documentary media group following him for 3 days, showing exactly what he did and stuff. So yeah, he slept for 30 minutes every single day.
That's insane. I think only some small percentage of the population, something like 5%, can sleep less than 6 hours a night normally and function fine. That's where you usually have your like super high achievers.
Yeah, I think that's me. Yeah. So I could do that, but I sleep like 7 hours a day.
I was thinking like Elon Musk, but
yeah. Well, Elon,
but one and the same.
Elon has assistants and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I have to do all my own stuff. I do all my own stunts.
Yeah.
Elon doesn't.
That's true.
He just thinks.
He's I could see a movie with Elon Musk in it, and then the stunt comes and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That'd be cool.
He's like the stunt guy. I remember that from like Terminator 2. Remember that growing up when that movie came out?
Mm-mm.
No, you never watched it.
Well,
it's just so gnarly because it's a cool movie. But anytime like there's a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger,
you could tell, yeah,
on a bike going off this huge thing into like a alleyway, and it's like a totally different guy, and you're like, should we pretend like we didn't see that?
Yeah, but you probably didn't notice back then, right?
No, not when I was 9.
Yeah,
no.
But now you're like, dude, that's definitely not him.
That's the other thing. I can't I watch some movies. I'm like, I was watching this when I was 9. Oh, maybe that's where my problems came from.
Yeah, it's a possibility. That's a tough one. What else you got for me?
Well, I have a couple stories here. We can talk about those real quick.
Not to damper the mood, but mass shooting happened yesterday, I believe.
Oh yeah, what, Georgia? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been.
I didn't really see much about it, but
I feel like the last year we've had lower amounts of school shootings.
yeah, for sure.
More presidential candidates shootings, less school shootings.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe they should continue on the latter.
Yeah.
Instead of
we could just
school
cycle
ones.
through until we get some good ones.
Yeah, but let's not do the school ones. But the other one we could probably do. There's a few people there that need to.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm just saying. If you ask me to pick one,
yeah. What's one,
person that's old as shit,
right?
Yeah,
they're already dust in the wind.
Yeah. Instead of kids, but dude, it's sad and yeah, dude, we need. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and a lot because people are kind of coming out, like the younger content creators, and making fun of, not fun, but just like saying like, dude, you're like 40 and making content, like stuff like that.
Yeah. And
it kind of bothered me because, not to me that they say that, because I don't do shit, but it's almost like, you hear like gang members or, people like that. They're like the big homies.
Yeah.
So they don't get out of line because they got a big homie.
Yeah.
Someone there to tell you, hey, cool it. Don't do that, whatever. Give you guidance as you're growing up.
Right.
Because a lot of times they don't have fathers, right? So that's kind of how I feel about the older content creators. There's no point to shit on them because, so imagine if all content creating was just consisted of the younger generation. Right. The ones that are eating Tide Pods, the ones that are doing a thing on TikTok called chroming, which is like huffing, I don't know, anything. And then like 2 kids have died from it and everything. And it's like it's like, how do you not have the common sense whereabouts to think of, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't take Febreze and huff it.
Yeah, it sounds like a stupid idea.
No big homies. No one telling them, hey. And then realistically, it should be the parents. But I understand parents not always there.
Yeah.
But so you should have like a bigger.
Plus, there's that like, the feed of, oh, what's my next thing going to be? How am I going to keep these people engaged or gain a bigger audience or something like that?
So that's my point, though. So we have those guys coming up as the content creators, but then yet saying like, oh, you're old, you're content creator, like talking to other people that do content. It's like, that's probably good, because if you actually sat down and watched what those people are doing or maybe saying, you wouldn't be huffing shit and going to the hospital.
Right.
Eating Tide Pods. Now you got to ask the lady at Walmart
Tide Pods
to get the Tide Pods out of the case because kids go in there and buy them and eat them.
Just switch it over to the dishwasher version. Let's go.
It's like, it's stuff like that. So I kind of was like, dude, that's almost annoying to me because we need the older generations to still create content.
Right.
So hopefully the younger generation sees that and we're like the big homies to be like, dude, don't do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know much. Anyways, continue.
We don't hear about this kind of stuff too often. Not a breaking story nationally. I guess it is, but you probably haven't heard of it. But a guy in Florida, he's visiting, gets a pain in his side, goes to the hospital.
His wife?
No, she wasn't with him this time.
Oh, okay.
The hospital determines we got to remove your spleen.
Dang.
Yeah. Go in there, rip the spleen out. Guy dies almost instantly.
Damn.
Turns out the spleen that they removed was actually his liver.
Damn.
Yeah.
What kind of hospital do they have in Florida?
Yeah. Later identified as the liver, as it says in the article. I was like, holy shit. That is...
So you obviously can live without your spleen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if whatever the pain in your side indicated that it was a spleen. I mean, I'm not sure. But just a little whoopsie there by the doctor.
That's kind of wild because say you went to... Well, you've gone to the doctor and you're like, my neck hurts.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, looks good.
Yep.
And they haven't figured it out in a year. But this guy goes in with a side pain and they're like, yep, it's your spleen. Just that quick.
Well, I think there's indicators, and stuff without doing like a full on MRI of my neck. They're going to be like, yeah. He looked at me. He's like, yeah, you got, looks like you got a little lack of rotation and shit there, which will happen over time. And
that's besides the point.
You're looking good, Dave. See you later.
I'm just saying, you go to the doctor and a lot of people have stuff going on and they can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But then this guy went in one day and then they're like, yep, it's your spleen.
Right.
Damn.
Apparently his liver was actually the problem. They said, we're going to set you free.
I wonder
didn't
what
know
the
that you
problem
would die
was.
like instantly without your liver.
You only have one liver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you need it.
Oh, right. I just didn't know you'd die that fast. And they're like, yeah, well, you're pissing in your gut now. Good luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't go to Florida. Even though that is the hot spot right now.
It is.
Doesn't sound like their medical field
The
is
free
very
state. This one was interesting too. Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, has announced that Christmas celebrations will officially begin on October 1st.
Old Saint Nick.
I don't know what they're doing in Venezuela. Like, if their celebration is like a month long or something. Because it says it's not like Christmas Day is October 1st.
Yeah.
It just says they'll begin on October 1st.
Hell yeah. They just want to party.
Let's see. I don't know everything about this. The announcement comes as Venezuela continues to grapple with the fallout from a disputed July presidential election in which Maduro claimed a third term despite authorities issued an arrest warrant for the opposition leader.
So he just wants to party, make it look good. Cause
how weird. It's like, I was telling someone else, I was like, our elections are getting more and more like the class president. You know, both of them are like, hey, we're gonna in America here, we're gonna cancel tax on tips. You know, vote for me and everyone will get a lunch. Which, by the way, California actually vetoed the same bill, which is in Harris's camp, right? To cancel, like, we're not going to tax people that make tips. It's not going to be income tax anymore. They shot it down. So
there will get taxed.
Yeah. I'm just saying that obviously that was a state. Harris is running same as Trump as we'll get rid of taxes on tips if I get elected. And then Harris's own group just was like, no, we're not going to allow that in the state. Yeah. So, you know, but that's state income tax as well. Yeah. So, just interesting to see that. They're like,
dude, Harris
for the people, but not the tip makers.
Freaking Kamala Harris, her group, her side. Like, I liked the side back in the day. It's a good side.
Yeah.
Probably among the best.
Maybe in the Clinton era?
I don't know. But as of late, dude, their side has really dropped the ball. And it's not even about the fact that she's running for president or that she's a female. None of that stuff. It's just the whole side, to me, has really messed things up as far as, and just seeing what they've done with Biden and everything and how they did it. And, well, we didn't know this or you know, whatever. Just whatever.
It's kind of like they're masking what's going on the whole time. And then when it's beyond obvious, they're like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, Biden's not fit to run for president.
Hey, and then they didn't know.
Where's he been, by the way?
I don't know.
I heard shit about him.
Just chilling. So they didn't know that was going on. What do you guys know of your own stuff?
Yeah.
Obviously nothing. Or you did and you didn't care to let us know. Or maybe, hey, we should really consider a better candidate just in case something happens to Joe. Kamala's not going to be it. Or, hey, maybe we should really focus on Kamala being this person, so if Biden can't run or something happens to him, then people are like, hey, Kamala she would be good or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of doing what they did. So my point is that side has kind of ruined it for themselves. So, I mean, go vote for the other side, I think, because, dude.
Well, at this point,
I don't think anything changes.
I'm a pretty firm believer. I'm quasi-conservative, but I also believe in something like neutral ground, right? So when things have been ran one way for too long, it needs to come back the other way, and vice versa. You know, it's kind of got to be that middle of the road thing. But I was just listening to check out the All In podcast if you're into really analytical stuff. It's a group of venture capitalists, super successful guys from Silicon Valley. I mean, if you listen to it, you probably know
bunch of nerds.
Most of them, they're really good. But they were talking about how. I think it was Mitt Romney back in the day when he was running. He was talking about how 48% of most jobs are government jobs. And if that ever hits 51%, we're at a tilting point where the government's just going to run away with it. Because if you work for the government, you're outside of the military. Most people are Democrats that work for the government, a large number of them. I'll say most. So anyway, that number, we have hit 51%.
Nice.
So it looks like, according to the numbers they were talking about, more people work for the government than the private industries.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I think it was on the podcast that you're not on, but those two idiots were talking about Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And I think they were saying something about like, oh, I wonder what's changed or whatever. But Zuckerberg was in the news because he wrote this letter.
Yeah, he
right?
came out. Yeah.
He came out as trans.
As a robot.
Trans government.
Yeah.
So now he identifies as not being on Biden's side.
Yeah.
And saying that he was forced into doing some stuff while with the Biden organization in power, and he didn't want to, but they were forced to. I don't know what that means, but so he's under heat right now. So a lot of Democrats obviously don't like him because of that, and then a lot of the other side.
How curious! What curious timing it is. Maybe he sees the writing on the wall, like wow. Because some of the things that Kamala said is basically they're going to try to tax people out of existence.
Yeah. But that's what those two guys were saying, right?
Yeah.
But I think a big part, dude, is like, have you noticed what he's been doing as of late? Is he's been trying to be not like Elon, but more in the
more
light
neutral.
Well, just in general, I think just as a personality,
yeah,
you never really saw much of Mark,
right?
And then now he's coming out. He's fighting. He's doing jiu-jitsu. He wants to hang out with people.
Yeah,
he's always at the UFC fights, hanging out, meeting all the fighters. So now that means what? He's a big Dana White friend. And who's
happening? Next thing you know, he's going to be reading the Constitution.
who's Dana's big guy there? Trump.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that had any influence in it, but it just seems like he's kind of like this nerdy dude.
Yeah, because before this, he came out and said that he wouldn't be pushing things like he had previously too.
Yeah. So now he's just like changing. Or maybe he's, getting blackmailed. Something's going on with him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting.
You can't blackmail a robot, dude.
Yeah. But you guys were saying that on there, saying, I wonder what the difference is or something. And I'm like, dude, he's friends with Dana White now.
Yeah.
Dana White's.
It could be a number of things. It could just be that he's seen enough where he's like, oh, this isn't going to end well for anyone if the truth doesn't come out.
But all of a sudden now.
Well, yeah, because people are going to vote. And so he's like,
Yeah, but he hasn't. He also hasn't come out and supported anyone.
Right.
So I think he said, I'm not going to support them like I used to or I did.
Right, because he put a ton of money into Biden's campaign.
But that leaves us like, okay, well, what's that mean? You're going to support them by giving them, 20 million?
Right.
Or 100 million? Not like what you did last time, but like, what's that mean? Or you're not going to support them at all. Let's say that.
Yeah.
And then, or you're endorsing one of them.
Right.
But he hasn't, and he won't do that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty interesting. But I think he is one of those nerdy dudes that wants to be the cool guy now. And he's kind of gotten into this cool guy group.
Right.
Being with like the UFC and Dana White and stuff.
I didn't think about that. I mean, I guess it's potential.
Yeah.
It could be the reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. What else you got to end the show? Or we can just end it right here.
End the show. Ooh. I don't know. Things are going well. You guys any closer to moving out of this place? What's the date?
Same as last time you asked.
Still shooting for October?
Well, hopefully September 30th.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, that's what they said, but they said but for sure by October 15th. So
okay.
So October 15th, the reconstruction of the pod.
Yeah. It's
of
just
the
going to come
studio.
on. We'll be in a new studio.
Well,
new
no,
place.
we're going to. Well, yeah, we will be, but it won't look good. It'll probably just look like this.
That's
actually.
fine. We could just
till
put up
it
some
actually
caution
gets
signs.
Yeah, till it gets built up. But it's going to be a little process there.
Yeah.
Because I want to obviously make it look good, and
Oh yeah, we were talking dimensions the other day. You got like 3 segments of huge garage. I'm like, that's awesome.
It's gonna be good.
I need some of that in my life.
Yeah, you do. You know what they say?
I don't actually.
The great Jesus Christ, 1478 said, "If you build it, they will come."
1478.
Something like that. If you build it, they will come.
Oh my God. All right. I think we've had enough. What's in the sparkling water today? I don't know.
LaCroix.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah. I got an episode coming out. I think this is going to be a filler one.
Okay.
And then I'll be back from the shows next weekend. Let you guys know how our time went. Family's going.
Yes.
So, and we have 2 days there, 2-day shows. And it's on the coast there. So I think set up. And then after that,
you guys are going to have a good, are you going to take an extra day?
No.
Okay.
No, we'll have 2 pretty much half days of being out there.
Okay. All right.
You know?
Cool.
There's only so much you can do, I think. I don't know. But, go check out the ocean there.
Yes.
Check out the coast there.
Watch out for the Russian drug cartels out there growing the pot.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that. But
check it out. It's on Netflix.
I'll check it out. Maybe I'll do some business over there, and then we'll really get a big studio.
Oh, my gosh. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.